I mean, Facebook and YouTube Live. Well, dear me. Thanks as always. I was nearly right onto the game there. I was so shocked today. I forgot about the sponsors, the all important thing. Thanks as always to sponsors: Galaxy Blinds, Cleveland Systems Engineering, Cornerstone Business Solutions, Borough Museum, RWTA, Richard Wills Train Associates, Advanced Utility Solutions, TGM Cars. Did I say Borough Museum? As I say, I'm all over the place. Galaxy Blinds, have I mentioned them? Anyway, the team today, if you've just walked in, you're thinking, well, if you've heard the show, you probably threw your television at the, or watched it, you probably threw your television out the window. The team was Stefan, Giles, Lenihan, McNair, Smith, Howson, Hackney, Foz, Ramsey, Akpom and Archer. And on the bench was Roberts, McGree, Fry, Moore, Beleza, Bola and Crooks. Obviously, with 8 games left, the pressure is real, and these are the real cup finals, if you like. This is what separates the wheat for the chaff, the men for the boys. This is the real deal now. Any mess ups? Why isn't Fry starting? If you Harry Pando right away, or Pendo. I was a bit surprised Fry wasn't playing, and even more surprised that Paddy's playing with his the face guard on. Fry's got one of them, and now Paddy's got one on. But anyway, Paddy played. But going in to play a team that's 22nd in the league, who have only scored 33 goals in today's game, so you can hardly buy a goal. We had all the possession first half, totally controlled it without creating a great deal. We had one shot on target, up to the goal, and we scored in the 43rd minute, and it was a smashing goal, finished by Foz. I'm going to make a cup of tea, and I think, yeah, second half should get another, and then it's a formality. I'll not even put my feet in the living room, but 1-0 down. 12 minutes in, or 3-0 down. It was farcical, it was unprofessional, it was horrific, it was humiliating, and the players on the bus coming home, they should agree with everything I'm saying, because they must know what happened today. We were frail at the back, tentative, nimble. It was just awful. It was awful. I mean, we've been terrific this season. And when a performance like that gets thrown up, you think, how on earth has that happened? It was an absolute nightmare second half. As I say, it was unacceptable. With how good we've been and how professional we have been and how attacking mind. Don't forget, we're playing Warnock. Warnock, we've all says that he's a negative manager, he's a long ball merchant. In the first half he was negative, just trying to show things up, frustrate us, and he was achieving it. And then we scored just for half time. And I thought, well, that's it, they'll have to come out. And they did come out, and they tore us to shreds. Shreds. And I don't know why. I don't know why we were so bad defensively. It wasn't just 1 or 2. I mean, we were hesitant. We missed the bounce of the ball. The balls were flying in. The left-hand side, oh right, they tore us to shreds. As I say, great, well done, Chuba, for getting it was another consolation goal, but it was a great header. Chuba wasn't greatly involved because they mapped him. But Warnock must be absolutely delighted. I hate to say it, but if I was Warnock and get hounded out and sat by a phone call and not allowed to get and claim my desk, I would want to beat Middlesbrough if it was me. And Warnock's done it. And so much for him being a negative manager. Of course he's a negative manager. But today, if you'd have switched that second half on and they wouldn't have said who's the manager, the last guy on the planet you'd have said is Neil Warnock. They were going for it. First half, negative, boring, frustrating. I wanted to switch it off. And then second half, they just came to life. They looked like the team that was at the top. I don't know what Michael Carrick says after the game, but dear God, we've only got 7 games now. And we'll start to play a lot of teams that played today. Burnley played last night. 0-0 against Sunderland. Sheffield United beat Norwich down at Norwich today. Millwall, 0-0. I'm just looking at it here. Blackburn Rovers, they lost 1-0. But hey, it was really Luton. They won 2-0 against Watford. Getting tight up there. Luton's levelways now. Why is McNair over Fry? I don't understand this. I don't. I didn't understand when Big Paddy was doing well and Fry was out, and then McNair came back in. I thought, well, that's a wee bit of injustice there. But now it's happened to Fry, and I thought, why is Fry not starting? let's go through these. I've rattled on there and couldn't believe McNair on in front of Fry, right? That's for Timmy Leach. Norman Shute says Warnock stuck that right up as unfortunately. He did. I mean, when I was thrown out the door at Middlesbrough and hounded out and had to go, didn't have an option, I'd have loved to come back and played Middlesbrough and scored a hat-trick. I would have. I love Middlesbrough, I support Middlesbrough. But when people mistreat you, you want to give it right up them. And according to Warnock, with all the stories he said, some it has been classless in our part. You know, not letting him clear his desk. I mean, he says this on national radio. I'm sure if he was telling lies, he'd soon be in court, but definition of character. But I think he deserved a wee bit more respect. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't his biggest fan as in the football, the very little football. I was a fan of the second half today. Dear God, they blew us away. Scary. Today was scary. If you're a Borough fan and you watch what I watched, tell me what you really think. But you can't, well, you can swear if you want. What? Yeah, so Colin Frank says, we all know we can't win every game, but you can't be conceding 4 goals against a bottom 4 team. Imagine if we play looking away in the playoffs and we collapse like that. Who's this from? Need to concentrate and finish in 3rd or 4th, so we're home in the second leg. Kel says, how does someone literally run through 4 players either in 30 seconds into the second half and then do it again 3 minutes later? I mean, yeah, I don't know if you, I'm sure you can see it, and there's that many channels these days worldwide. Watch the goals we concede. I hope Carrick makes the lads look at it. It was embarrassing, shambolic, Sunday league stuff. The dog and gun against the dog and duck with 20 pints a piece, 20 pints down, and it was horrific. The way we conceded goals, as I say, we were timid. We weren't tackling, we weren't getting in there. We were standing off them, and awful. It was really awful. As I say, look, they've deserved the plaudits, the lads have been brilliant, and I've enjoyed it all season. Couple of games I didn't enjoy West Brom, didn't enjoy Sunderland, didn't enjoy Brighton, Hove Albion. But today, that's humiliating, getting beat 4, humiliating. Defence was very good today. Loads ball, playing nothing much at other end. Defence was very good today. Are you winding me up, John? What do you mean defence was very good? Borough defence? You mean their defence? Need to concentrate. Paddy McNair is weak as a centre-back, easily bullied. I'll tell you what, Robert, but if you're going to pick Paddy McNair, you must look at the whole back line and the whole midfield. I tell you who I've never seen today, Johnny Howson. Johnny Howson wasn't really in it. I didn't know he was playing. Honestly, there was certain players there I thought, dear me, just disintegrated. Anton says, on to the next, no point dwelling on this game, keep the faith. I don't like that word, keep the faith. You've either got faith or you've not. You don't need to just, you've got it. The irony of being on April Fool's Day as well, our defence was a joke today. My son says something similar. He's a massive Borough fan. The defence wasn't very good today, shambles. It's like first half, even when we were drawn, the team just gave up and started mocking them. Like Stefan coming out of the box this far for time in the first half is a joke. Yeah, well, I'm not even going to blame Stefan today. All the guys in front were poor. And was it the second goal? The guy cut in for the left, got it onto his right, and he just curled it right into the bottom left-hand corner. It was a great finish. But I don't want to hear this, oh, let's sweep on the carpet, keep the faith and all this crap. I concentrate one game at a time. Today is a worrying big concern that we're playing a team who's 4th bottom in the league, who's under threat of getting relegated, who have only scored 33 goals in all the games this season. We've scored double the amount of goals, and they score 4 against us. It's scary. It's scary. I hope our bottles aren't going to go on. My boy was saying, Dad, my bottles always go in April. Check it out. I've not checked it out, I'll just come on here. But surely my bottles aren't going to go. We've been brilliant this season. I think Fry needs to start against Burnley. Spoiled my weekend. Burnley today was embarrassing. What was it embarrassing, Daniel? If I was on the bus, I'd be embarrassed. I'd be heading up the back thinking, dear God, how bad were we today? We're all Borough fans. But if the players try to come out with any credit today, anywhere on the pitch, they're kidding themselves on, they're delusional. Today was garbage. Garbage. I give all the praise this season. Been brilliant. I've enjoyed it. It's been attacking, exciting, free-flowing, entertainment at the highest quality. But today was garbage. 4. Huddersfield. Come on. 4 against a negative manager. And Warnock. 4 goals. Incredible. It was incredible. I was stunned. Bad day at the office. Oh, see that, Dave, that saying. It's not a bad day at the office. This is 8 games. Now it's 7. We're running out of games. If we perform like we did today against the next 7 games, we'll be lucky to make the playoffs. Obviously, playoffs is the aim. No, the aim was top 2 because we've been so good. We proved it. We went to Sheffield and wiped the floor with them in their own backyard. So we were looking for top 2. I said all along, I don't think we would be top 2. Now we're 6 points behind Sheffield, who won at Norwich today. It's a great result. And they've got a game in hand. So I think we can clearly say, well, you never say never, but my gut is, and it has been for a couple of months, we're not going to catch Sheffield. Make sure we're in the top 6. But we cannot afford another disaster like today. I mean, Carrick must be stunned that a team that he's come in and totally converted into an attacking, free-flowing side, who's enjoyable to watch, to put in such a dire performance against a dire team who are 4th bottom of the league. Obviously, playoffs. Sheffield was always going to be tough to catch. Defence was shocking. Well, we agree with that one. Colin says, when players forget on how to tackle, they never tackled. Wonder what Carrick said at half-time, as it clearly didn't work. Yeah, I thought that myself. What does he actually say at half-time? So we scored in the 43rd minute, just before half-time. We've only had 1 shot on target before that. We scored a goal. They always say in football, scoring just before half-time, great time to get a goal, kills the opposition. And then we come out in 30 seconds in, as I mentioned at the top, we're a goal down. They scored the equaliser, and then we lose 3 in 12 minutes. 1 game down and move on and start again next week. Win. Paul Whitehouse. Paul, I wish it was as easy saying that. Obviously, we played Burnley, you know that. I know Sunderland got a draw down there. Maybe they're thinking, maybe they're walking about like us, thinking, hey, we're in the top 6, whatever, they're going to get promoted. We're promoted. We're thinking, oh, we're in the top 6 at least. No. We have to keep it going to the bitter end. We have to keep it going. You can't rely on your laurels and think, oh, we're a good side, we're all getting the plaudits and slapping the backs and we don't need to go out there ultra professional. I'm not saying the lads went out thinking otherwise, but looking at it the second half, it was as if we've got a goal, they're crap, we're just going to go to the second half and wipe the floor with them. We can think that as fans, but they can't think that. I'll tell you what, I don't think anybody will be talking to each other on the bus coming back. Very disappointing second half, but we go again and bring on Burnley on Friday. That's right, it's Friday. Up the Borough from Thailand. Bam, Borough, hiya, bam. Paul Kearney says, Evening Bernie, couldn't believe that I watched what I watched today. Can only think after the first half we thought we'd won. It. Makes things worse. Luton won it and Sheffield United won, yeah. And a couple of yards offside. VAR needs to come in for this league now. Should have been in for me. This is a league that can make teams absolutely millions and millions of pounds. Very, very important to get in that Premier League. And a bad decision in the playoff final could be costly. But doesn't help us now. Next game, Burnley. Lose that and we could be 4th next Saturday after Luton's game finishes. Timmy Leach says, far too slow and predictable, Billy. We were slow today. We were slow at moving the ball, but what they did, they get every ball, but it was typical Warner. Every player behind the ball, let's smother them. Let's not give anybody a kick. Ramsey was in it first half, but the other lads weren't. Akpom was under shackles, we were pulling and hauling them and disturbing them, and Akpom was having a bite back. In the midfield, I thought we got overrun. But the first half, we were good without creating it, and we flattered to deceive. Lot of the ball, but didn't really do anything with it, didn't hurt them. Then we scored, and then second half, the wheels came off. No 1 wheel, 2 wheels, 4 wheels. If this result was against a mid-table team that has nothing to fight for, then ask questions. But you have to see for Anton. But you have to remember that Huddersfield need points to stay up. So they're always going to bully us. Bully us. Anton, okay then. If that's what you're saying, they're going to bully us. Well, what's Burnley going to do next week? What's Luton going to do down there? They're not going to stand off the admirers. They've got things to play for. They've got positions in the league they want to achieve. Are you saying they're going to be bullied? Today, I tell you what, they were a physical team. As I say, first half they were just hoofing it. The defenders, it was, don't try and pass it out. We're fanning about at the back. They're just hoofing it. Long, boom. Early tap with McNair and company. And that's one thing that I noticed. Long hoofs over the top, gets our back line 4 turned, and we're no blessed with pace. Listen to Carrick, he looks and sounds furious. But if he's no furious at that, I mean, he doesn't usually show his emotions, but today, I think I'd be stringing a few of them up against the wall. Of course, you can't do that in the modern world in a nice way. Probably played with 8 men today at this level, can only carry 1. Lisa Carter, that's a good point as well. You need everybody. 1 or 2, you're out of sync. 3, 4, 5, you're definitely out of all sorts. Maybe the pressure's getting to the players. John Toogood, I mentioned that. This is the real deal now. This is it. 7 games left. If you mess them up, you've gone. You're not even in the top 6. And that's a possibility, as much as possibility getting in the top 2. I personally don't think it'll happen. I've said for a long time we're going to be at least top 6. I've never said top 2. And today confirms to me that we are going to be top 6. We were awful. But if Burnley played last night, nothing to be worried about. This is a championship. Giles was poor today, John. It was. Both full-backs were poor. They tore us to shreds down the wings. Mark Smith says, as a former great once said, football's a funny old game. Yeah, that was great. Greavesy, wasn't it? St. Greavesy, you said. Liverpool thrashed Man United 7-0. Following week, they lose 1-0 to Bournemouth. Martin, why are we making comparisons? We're Middlesbrough. Forget all the other teams. We know what goes on in football. But we're Middlesbrough. We've been paying the compliments left, right and centre, and rightly so. Carrick's been getting the plaudits. The team's been getting the plaudits. Ashbourne has scored another goal a day, getting the plaudits, and rightly so. But today, we can't defend indefensible. We were garbage. Horrific. We've been great all season. But today, anybody gives don't go to other teams. Think of us. We've got Burnley next. Burnley's more or less there. They'll come next week and they'll respond. But we have to respond. And we're at home. They're in our backyard. So, I don't look at other teams and focus on us. Forget all the other teams, right? Focus on us. Let's see what we're going to do in the remaining 7 games. But we cannot afford to play it today. McGree not starting even though he played for Australia. Maybe that's the reason he didn't play. Playing on April Fool's Day against Walnut, this was a nailed-on win. I had to restart today. Walnut, he's been at. Don't forget he's been around for years and loads of different clubs. Too many to mention. I think he's played against the Borough 12 times, and lost money and looking after the kids. All of a sudden, he gets a phone call. Oh, we're struggling. Neil, can you come? Turn around the day. You get a stand ovation. The players need to give each other a kick up the arse after that, but without a doubt. We need to make changes at the back lines, put them in midfield, not defence, and get stronger. And then Fry and Lennon. Get promotion, loads of money. Hopefully we spend it. At least we'll have it to think about. It's a crap team. And they're crap. That's why they're I remember 1987 and we got